We do. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What's the date? 20th of March meeting of the Medford Site Plan and Architectural Commission will now come to order. Could we have roll call, please?
Mr. Binder.
Here.
Mr. Camiller.
Here.
Ms. Powell.
Present.
Mr. Thomas. Mr. Whitlock.
Here.
Mr. Wing. We have 4.
I'm sorry, Amanda, do we have a copy of the agenda? It wasn't. Here. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, everybody. No worries. Item number 20 is our consent calendar. We have none. Item number 30 is approval or correction of the minutes from the February 6, 2026 meeting.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, but one of the items listed secretly under the roll call, not really, is election of officers.
Oh, election of officers.
With the absence of Ms. Pierce, who went to the Planning Commission, we need to actually elect a chair and a vice chair.
Okay. I don't know how to do that off the top
Well,
of
let
my
me,
head.
I will start by, I would,
Do we have a nomination?
I
for
would
the
move
position
to
of
nominate the chair, Jeff, as the chair.
Second.
chair? Motion and a second. I will accept the nomination. With that, we can, actually, let's just do a roll call vote. Yes. Could we have roll call, please?
Mr. Camiller.
Yes.
Mr. Whitlock.
Yes.
And Ms. Powell.
Yes.
We have 3 yeses.
All right, we have 3 yeses. Thank you, everybody. Do I have a nomination?
Why do we only have 3? The chair can vote. Yeah.
I'll vote for myself then.
Okay, so that's a yes from you
Mark me down
too?
as a yes. Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. I should know a little bit more about this on the fly. With that, do we have a nomination for the position of vice chair?
Mr. Chair, I would move to nominate Jeff Thomas, who happens to be absent, as the vice chair.
Oh, in absentia.
Can the planning commissioner do it?
Yeah, I think any
sitting member?
sitting member of the commission
Okay.
can hold one of the officers' positions.
Second?
All right, so we have a motion and a second, and again, we'll just do a quick roll call on the
Mr.
nomination of Commissioner Thomas.
Mr. Whitlock.
Yes.
Mr. Binder.
Yes.
Mr. Camiller.
Yes.
Ms. Powell.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
All righty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. I'm sorry I overlooked that the first time. So again, we will move on. Item number 20 is consent calendar. We have none. Item number 30 is approval or correction of the minutes from the February 6, 2026 meeting. Are there any corrections to be noted?
No additions or corrections, Mr. Chair, but I would like to again compliment staff on an excellent job. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, with we can move those, what do you call those things? Minutes into the record. Sorry, everybody. I'm a little discombobulated here. Item number 40 is oral requests and communications from the audience. The Planning Department encourages written comments which may be submitted by regular mail to the Site Plan and Architectural Commission at 200 South Ivy Street, Medford, 97501, or by email to planning@cityofmedford.org. Comments must be received by 10 a.m. on the date of the meeting to be noted in the record and should include the date of the meeting in the comments. Is there anybody in the audience today that would like to come forward and speak on an item that is not on today's agenda? All right. With that, we will move to item 50, which is public hearings. Before we begin, will council please explain the rules which will govern this public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am going to explain the rules that govern this hearing. Before the hearing begins, city staff will give a report. The report will list the criteria that govern the city's decision. After the staff report, the hearing will be open for other speakers. The applicant will speak first and may ask for rebuttal time. Following the applicant, any other interested person will be allowed to speak. Before the hearing is closed, anyone who needs more time to present evidence must ask for more time. If you ask, the hearing will be continued or the record will be kept open, and you will have at least 7 days to present additional written evidence. Any testimony, argument, or evidence you give must relate to the criteria listed in the staff report or other criteria in the comprehensive plan or land use regulations that you believe apply to the decision. If you fail to raise an issue or do not give the commission sufficient information so that the commission and any party can respond, you will not be able to appeal that issue to the Land Use Board of Appeals. If you do not raise constitutional or other issues about any proposed condition with specificity so that the commission can respond to that issue, you will not be able to bring a court action for damages.
Thank you, Mr. Schaubach. Before we begin, just to note that if you do plan to testify, please listen carefully. Well, we heard the statement, but also as you come up, please remember to sign in. We will have a timer today, and the applicants are allowed to give 10 minutes of testimony. Any individuals having comments on the applications will be given 3 minutes or 5 minutes if representing a group or organization, and 5 minutes will be reserved for the applicant for rebuttal. With that, we'll move on to item 50.1, which is AC-25-353, which is consideration of plans for a semi-permanent pod development on one parcel totaling approximately 0.14 acres in size within the CSP zoning district located at 719 Bennett Avenue. The applicant and agent is Susan Craven, and the planner is Keegan Benson. Before we start, are there any potential conflicts or ex parte contact to be disclosed by any of the commissioners? All right, hearing none. Could we have the staff report, please?
Thank you, and good afternoon, Commissioners. Excuse me. Keegan Benson with your Planning Department, and I'll be presenting on the application for a semi-permanent mobile food vendor pod located at 719 Bennett Avenue. To start, I will review the Commissioner's authority and the applicable approval criteria. I think this thing isn't working today. So the application will be reviewed for compliance with criteria for both a site plan and architectural review and a temporary mobile food vendor and food vendor pod. The commission, this application type is a site plan and architectural review. It's a quasi-judicial decision, and the site plan and architectural commission is the approving authority per Medford Land Development Code 10.110 subsection 8. This type of review is with criteria listed at MLDC 10.200 subsection 5A. Those criteria, as stated in the code, are presented on the screen and in the staff report. And I want to take this chance to note that with these SPAC reviews, the commission is allowed to apply a range of conditions of approval. You may impose additional conditions determined to be reasonably necessary to ensure compliance with the standards. And these conditions may include, but are not limited to, the following. These up here, I don't expect you to read them all. But these conditions touch on lighting, fencing, landscaping, signs, architectural elements, anything that the commission deems necessary to protect the health, safety, and general welfare of the surrounding area and community as a whole. We'll also be looking at the food vendor pod criteria. This is also a type 3 quasi-judicial decision where the site plan and architectural commission is the approving authority. This is stated in 10.829A subsection 4. The applicable criteria are listed in the code, 10.829A subsections 5 through 17. I want to take this chance to introduce a new exhibit. Yesterday afternoon, I received an additional public comment from the property manager of the apartment complex adjacent to the project site. The comment contains specific recommendations that the property manager feels addresses issues they've experienced in the past, and this comment was forwarded to the commissioners yesterday, and it will be included in the commissioner's report as Exhibit K. Now on to the project itself. Proposal is for a semi-permanent food truck pod with space for 4 vendors. The site is a single parcel consisting of 0.14 acres. It is an area that has got a general land use designation of service commercial, which allows a limited range of service-oriented businesses as well as residential development. The zone is CSP, service commercial, also allows a limited service-oriented businesses. I'll note that development in this zone is expected to be suitable for locations adjacent to residential neighborhoods. It is within both the airport area of concern and frequent transit corridor overlay. A note on that is no parking is required for development on lots within the frequent transit corridor. We'll look at the surrounding sites. So we're looking at aerial imagery. We are looking from the south towards the north. The subject property is there outlined in red. This is a use or a zone map. We can see to the north, south, and east, we're zone service commercial. To the north is an office building. To the south is a dental office. To the west is zoned regional commercial. This is the Medford Center. And then back in the east, service commercial apartment complex. The proposal itself is a semi-permanent food truck pod with space for 4 vendors, no on-site parking. The amenities are simple. They include a picnic table, gazebos, and 2 porta potties. Now we'll go into issues and analysis. I want to touch on the criteria again briefly to remind folks. This type 3 is reviewed for compatibility with adjacent uses and development compliance with applicable city ordinances. So first we'll look at the commercial development standards, height, lot coverage, setbacks, what is required and what is proposed are in tune, so this is in compliance. Next we'll look at parking. No vehicle spaces are required in the FTC, as I've noted. However, bicycle parking spaces are still required. This is stated in the code at 10.748 subsection 1A1, where commercial uses less than 3,000 square feet shall provide a minimum of 2 bicycle parking spaces. As a condition of approval, the applicant would be required to submit a revised site plan showing parking facilities for those 2 bicycles consistent with the requirements in the code. For landscaping, code section covering street frontage landscaping requires that for the 53 feet of street frontage, 1 tree and 12 shrubs would be installed. The proposed site plan was proposing no landscaping be installed. As a condition of approval, the applicant would be required to install frontage landscaping consistent with the requirements outlined in the code. Next, we'll look at the pedestrian connectivity and the concealments and trash enclosures requirements. For pedestrian connectivity, the applicant's proposed site plan illustrated an alternative pedestrian route. I've highlighted it there in blue, utilizing the paving. Per MLDC 10.776, exceptions to pedestrian walkway standards, as long as there's an alternative route reasonably direct, they can get some relief from the pedestrian connectivity standards. As of on the site plan and the conditions, this is not paved, but we're going to address that in a later condition. It can be found that the submitted site plan, with the imposition of the conditions we'll get to, can comply with these pedestrian connectivity requirements. For trash concealments, the code requires a dumpster be provided for vendors, and that dumpster have a concealment of solid wood, metal brick, or masonry block. The plan submitted had no dumpsters with no enclosures. A condition of approval would be to submit a revised site plan showing the location of a dumpster with enclosure suitable for vendor use per the requirements outlined in the code. That's the end of the site plan and architectural review criteria. Now we'll move on to the mobile food vendor. And these projects require additional review with the criteria specified in MLDC 10.829A. The standards address site design standards for vendors, utilities, parking. Overall, there's more than 40 individual criteria, so the staff report and the presentation will speak on the ones that were found to be out of compliance. First, the criteria found in subsection 6A1 requires that temporary mobile food vendors be located on a paved surface. The proposal, outlined in blue there, shows a U-shaped asphalt pad with not all the vendors on it, and that it's unconnected to the driveway access to get into compliance. Condition of approval would be to pave site sufficiently to connect the existing asphalt pad to the vehicle access and ensure that all parking, loading, maneuvering is done on an improved surface. Next, 6B4, building permits are required for storage sheds, cargo containers, or other prefabricated structures. The proposal described and conditions show an unpermitted gazebo. To get in compliance, the applicant will be required to properly permit or remove the prefabricated structure in accordance with the code. 6B7, an integrated pest control management plan shall be provided. This was not included with the proposal. To get in compliance, applicants required to submit an integrated pest control management plan. Next, subsection 10 covers signs and requires that all signs on the site be in accordance with Article 6. The proposal had showed a sign not in compliance. Conditions also show, although I believe the applicant has removed that sign and applied for a sign permit. Regardless, for the condition of approval for this, the applicant's required to properly permit or remove all non-compliant signs in accordance with the code. Subsection 11 over lighting, semi-permanent food pods shall install lighting to ensure a safe environment, and that lighting should be in accordance with section 10.764, which covers glare. I have a picture here from about 6 in the morning of the site there on the right, and the proposal describes and current site conditions show string lights with uncovered bulbs. As a condition of approval, applicant shall adjust or remove these exterior lights to meet the glare standards in the code and ensure that lights will be turned off outside the hours of operation. And speaking of hours of operation, subsection 12 requires that hours of operation be submitted along with additional information for the business license department. This proposal did not identify those operating hours. As a condition of approval, applicant will be required to submit the operating hours and the name and contact information of the person in charge to the business license department in accordance with the code. As a discretionary condition of approval, the operating hours, or the commission can decide to specify that the operating hours shall be or be within 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. in order to limit noise and lighting impacts on neighboring residential units during the quiet hours specified in the code. For utilities, we turn to Public Works, Medford Water Commission, the Fire Department, and Building Safety. They've stated their conditions of approval in the staff reports, which are exhibits G through J, and are also included within Exhibit A, which lists the conditions of approval as items 2 through 5. The conditions specified in those reports would ensure compliance with MLDC 10.829A, subsection 8, which covers utilities. Public comment. At the time of publication, I'd only received a single public comment. The comment was from the property manager at the neighboring apartment, Bennett Arms, stating that there have been issues in the past with vendors putting their personal items onto the apartment's property. I have here a screenshot from 2024. You can see how close the vendors were arranged to the apartment buildings. I will note that the proposed layout moves the vendors away from the building onto the asphalt pad, and that compliance with the conditions of approval specified in Exhibit A would indirectly address many of these issues, but we've also added a discretionary condition of approval that the commission could add, that the applicant and all vendor tenants shall not place garbage cans, barrels, propane tanks, chairs, heaters, tables, pallets, trash, or other personal property items onto any adjacent properties without written permission to do so. And I'll also get back to that other comment that came in. Also from the apartment complex with these specific recommendations, and those are on the screen and were forwarded to the commission yesterday. Findings and conclusions. I'll return to the criteria. And based on the evidence in the record, the commission can find that the proposed development is consistent with the adjacent development and uses, and that with satisfaction of the conditions of approval included in Exhibit A, which will ensure compliance with code standards, the commission can find that these criteria are satisfied. No exception was needed. For the temporary mobile food vendor criteria, for these criteria as well, based on the evidence in the record, with the imposition and satisfaction of the conditions of approval included in Exhibit A, the proposal will comply with all standards outlined in the code, and this criterion is satisfied. Staff recommendation is to adopt the findings as recommended by staff and direct staff to adopt the final order for approval of AC 25353 per the staff report dated March 13th, 2026, including Exhibits A through J and both discretionary conditions. Thank you. I'll also note if the commission does not wish to include one or both of the discretionary conditions, they can be left out of the suggested motion. Thank you.
Understood, thank you. Any questions for staff? Commissioner Powell?
Yes. So is the current lighting with the bulbs, the string lights, are those currently disturbing tenants? Are we aware of that?
I believe it is one of the items listed in the public comment.
Yeah, I did see that. The approved or the suggested hours are also different. So right here on the discretionary condition number 2, you guys are suggesting 10 p.m. The city manager, or excuse me, the property manager is suggesting no noise or music after 7 p.m. Is that each night or is that weekend nights? Where are we seeing these time differences?
I can't speak for the comment from the public. These I just pulled out of the noise ordinance.
Yeah,
in
I
the
figured
code.
that was probably it. Are we, so we've done a couple of these over the years. I feel like we just did one a month or two ago. And they, why are we not seeing any type of tree line or fence of any kind between these two properties?
For us, for a buffer yard would be based on a use, and these uses and zonings are similar. But it would be in the commission's discretion to add that.
I mean, I like the fact that they should be delineated more properly, to be honest, for the tenants.
Commissioner Powell, did you have anything further?
I don't think so.
Commissioner Whitlock?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And with the indulgence of the commission, I actually have a series of questions. I asked the same question of staff via an email about the fencing, and I also think it's a good idea to have a fence between this activity and the neighboring apartment complex. Staff reached out to the representative of the apartment complex, and it was kind of suggested that a wood fence might be appropriate. Have you heard anything more on that issue?
They've updated that to chain link would be the preference, but
Chain link would be?
yes, Commissioner.
Okay. On another question, I noticed in the approval criteria, it references tents or canopies. Do you know if any of those are being proposed, aside from that gazebo, which is clearly delineated?
Not within the site plan that we received.
Okay, thank you. And you said the quiet hours that you referenced in this discretionary condition item number 2, but it's discretionary condition number 1. those come from the city's noise ordinance, correct?
Yes, they aren't specifically stated as quiet hours, but those are the hours that they list for the noise ordinance.
Got it. Have you received any comments at all from the applicant on at least the discretionary conditions that were previously in the staff report?
No, I've not.
Okay, thank you. Also, talking about operating hours, it appears from the basically the criteria that the operating hours should have been included in the application. Isn't that correct?
That is correct, Commissioner.
And as I read the code, it suggests that the reason for that is so that this commission can decide what hours are most appropriate for the activity. So we do have some flexibility and discretion, correct?
Correct.
Great. Do we have any other temporary food vendor areas that have operating hour restrictions that you're aware of?
I'm ignorant of that, Commissioner.
How about Kelly? Are you aware of any?
I'm not, Mr. Whitlock.
Great, thank you. I'm not familiar that we have imposed any of those before, but I don't know that we've had any of these as close to a residential use as this one.
We have not. They've been in commercial or industrial areas.
Right. And then with respect to the lighting, I noticed that the code provision references impacts to customers and employees, basically having sufficient lighting for the customers and the employees, and maybe not too much lighting as well, I guess. Are there any criteria or standards that relate to the light that might impact the neighbors?
The only one that I'm familiar with is that section on glare, which says for commercial uses, you should not be putting more than half a foot candle on neighboring properties, which is quite low.
And that's for what?
For the sections on glare in commercial.
Oh, so it's a general standard relating to commercial regulations. Got it.
Yes, Commissioner, yeah.
Got it. And what about the, I don't know, the night sky restrictions that the code has as well? Are those applicable here?
There's the, Chapter 10 doesn't
Can you
have
speak up a little bit, Kelly? I'm sorry, I'm not
Sure.
picking it up.
So there's no night sky protection in Chapter 10,
Got it.
only glare.
Okay, great. I think that covers my questions. I probably will have similar questions of the applicant. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commission
Thank you,
members.
Commissioner Whitlock. Any other questions for staff at this time? Anyone? All right,
Thank you.
thank you. With that, I'd like to go ahead and open the public hearing with the applicant or applicant's agent to speak first, please.
My name is Susan Craven, and I'm the owner of the project. It's 719 Bennett. And just to address a few of the things that were brought up, our hours are from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. The noise music thing is no problem at all. We don't have really any kind of music at this point. And the lights are on a timer. And everything else that I've been asked to comply with up to this point, I have, and so anything else that you need me to do, I surely will. I'm going to work with you and get back open. And if you have any more questions, my architect's here and a couple other people that, can bring forth what we need to do to get this place up and running again. I've been shut down for almost 7 months now. And as you know, we all have to make a living, so I'd appreciate your cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a
Any
question.
questions for me?
I do.
Yes, please.
I'm sure
Yes,
we
Commissioner.
probably have a tandem question.
Commissioner Powell?
So it was suggested to build a fence, when it was suggested to build a wooden fence, one would prefer to do a chain link, which would allow more light
I
in.
don't think that's up
and-
to me. I think that there's a representative here for the apartments behind me. I'll be willing to work with them.
I personally would like to see a wooden fence
I
or
agree
even.
with you, yes.
Yeah, because a light wouldn't stifle noise or light very well.
I agree.
Any other questions for the applicant? Commissioner Whitlock, did you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And what about lighting that you're going to have on the site?
Right now, all we have is mood lighting. And the lighting is on a timer. It comes on at dawn in the morning and then goes off at dusk in the evening.
Could you repeat that again?
The only lighting that we have right now, it's mood lighting.
And what does that
MOOD.
consist of?
Just strings of light, just to bring some cheer to the place. And the lights are on a timer, and they come on at dawn when the sun comes up. And then the opposite, they go down when the sun goes down. So they're on for about, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 hours a day, depending on what time of year it is.
So the lights would basically just be on during your operating hours from
Well, and
earlier, I guess, than
when
that.
it's dark, the lights are on. So whether that's in the morning or at night, the lights are on.
But only during your hours of operation.
Excuse me?
Only during your hours of operation?
That's correct.
Yes. Sorry, Commissioner Whitlock. Good.
No, that's right.
Just
Thank you.
jumped in there
Thank
for
you.
it.
That's what I was actually seeking that sort of clarification.
Did you have anything further?
I see there are some lights on the photos in the staff report. Are those the string lights?
That's correct.
Okay. And that's what you would propose to keep?
Yes.
Okay. Have you received any complaints from the neighbors about those string lights?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And do I understand that you are not opposed to any of the conditions that you have heard here today so far?
No, I'm not.
One is the suggested fence. You have suggested reduced operating hours between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m., and no problems with that second discretionary condition relating to items of personal property being placed on adjacent properties?
I'll make sure that never happens again. I wasn't even aware of that until today.
Great. So no concerns about those conditions or the fencing?
Not at all.
Great, thank
No
you.
concerns.
No further questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. Any other questions for the applicant? All right, thank you. We'll reserve time for rebuttal, should it be necessary.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to come forward and speak on the item? If so, please approach the podium. Huh? I'm not sure if she did. I'll remind her. And please remember to sign in.
Good afternoon. My name's Teresa Larson.
I just don't have very good hearing, so.
That's okay. My name's Teresa Larson. I'm the property manager for the owner of the apartment complex next door. Our main concern is the tenants. Our property is probably 6 feet from this venue. So we want to make it really clear that we want a fence, garbage enclosed opposite of our building, light deflected, and we're also concerned about there may be smells when you get 5 trucks going in there that are wafting right into our tenant's property. I have called Susan in the past and asked her to have her tenants get their property off our property. And as a property manager, I know tenants don't always comply. That's our concern.
All right. Thank you. Did you have anything further?
That's it.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, hold on, ma'am,
Yes.
for just a second. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to know, you heard kind of the discussion. Do you have any comments on the conditions that we've been talking about, the fencing, the hours of operation, the discretionary condition relating to stuff ending up on your property?
We went by there today before we came here, and there's still stuff on our property. So as long as that's addressed, we're all about small business. We want people to grow and thrive. We also want to protect our tenants. So whatever that looks like, I don't want to babysit.
Well, you know, I'm guessing that the fence would assist a great deal in keeping the personal property items from getting onto the apartment property, but I think
Correct.
this condition will also make it clear that it is the operator's responsibility to make sure that that doesn't occur. And I'd also point out, as pointed out by staff, that the new layout is going to move most of that stuff
Oh, I
away
saw
from the
that.
apartment
Correct.
complex, which I think will be very effective in minimizing the conflicts.
I agree.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. And thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like, any other members of the public that would like to come forward and speak on this item? Again, remember to sign in, please.
I'd sign in, but your pen doesn't work. I'm John Craven, Susan's husband, and it's been quite a process to...
I'm sorry, could you repeat it?
My name's John Craven. I'm Susan's husband. And a couple issues I've had with this process. Like she says, she hasn't had clients in there for 7 months. And that means not just her out in income, but also her clients or her vendors. And she's tried to work with the city, but the city has been a bit difficult. They've said that we didn't pull permits when she did pull permits for both water and electricity. The city, for some reason, allowed the shopping center owner to install a fence on the west side of the property. And I don't see any reason for a fence other than to damage her business. And that property's always had easement from the parking lot to the property. There was a house there at one time, and they actually parked cars, you know, along that. And the business next door has six or eight parking spots, so they've got an easement through that parking lot to their property also. So I'd like you guys to look into why and maybe a fence was allowed to be put up there on the west side. I'd appreciate that. And the other thing is, do we need a dumpster? Couldn't we have just wheeled trash cans in an enclosure so we don't go to the expense and the hassle of, we've still got quite a bit of expense to meet all of your demands. Do we need a dumpster, or can we use, you know, the wheeled trash cans for getting rid of the garbage on the site?
I'm sorry, I can't speak to the necessity of that. Kelly, is there anything in the ordinance that directs otherwise?
There is, Mr. Chair. Let me see, let me find it again here. I was just reading it. So there is, it's in section 10.829, subsection A6. It just keeps going.
It actually looks like it's B3.
3. So dumpsters shall be provided on site for business trash and screened in accordance with our screening standards. Dumpster location shall be accessible to the waste management company. So yes, a dumpster is required under the code.
That's going to be difficult based on how small this little piece of property is and the layout. Is there any kind of waiver that we can do on that? I mean, they're not going to be generating enough trash to require a dumpster every week.
That I can't say. Again, you know, the ordinance is as it is. And I'm not sure that there's
What
any
is the dumpster based
discretionary-
on, though? Amount of people on the property, the
What's
size of the
being
business?
utilized right now?
What's that?
What was being utilized in the past?
Cans.
You did
The
have
cans
cans?
like you roll out at your house. And the same thing they've got at the dentist's office and the same thing they've got at the lawyer's office.
Sorry, Kelly, was there any?
No, that's okay. How about if we continue with the hearing, Mr. Chair, while I review the code, and we can come back to that particular issue?
Okay,
Okay, that's all I have.
all right.
Mr.
Looks-
Chair, if I may.
Yes,
It
Commissioner
looks
Rowland,
like
please.
item 17, I don't, let's see, that's in the pod things. It says that the applicants may seek approval of alternative methods of water delivery and wastewater disposal, but it doesn't mention the specific ability to waive the solid waste disposal thing. And I don't know if an exception could be applied for. I don't know whether it falls into that area or not.
It could be. I'm not sure that it would meet the criteria for exception.
Well, I'm not either, but.
Yeah, but that is an alternative.
Yeah.
I think that is the
And
alternative.
so there is an exception regulation, but if it had been filed at the time that you filed this application, we could be hearing it now, but it would have to be a separate application to ask that that be accepted,
Okay.
removed, basically, that condition.
Okay, I mean, it's going to have to be, because to have access for a dump truck to get onto the site
Yeah.
for a dumpster, you can look at that site plan, just makes it unfeasible, especially since you've allowed this guy to put a fence along the west side of the property. Again, I don't think that was legal to do. I believe that property has an easement for traffic from the parking lot side, just like the building next door does. There's a lawyer's office next door with 6 parking spots, and the only way to it is through the parking lot. And that's how this was accessed forever. There was a house there at one time, and that's
Right.
how the house was accessed.
And again, sir, nothing to do, this commission has nothing to do with the
Okay.
that fence or.
How would I go about getting that
allowed.
removed? What do I have to do then to,
I think you have to chat with the property owner.
what's that?
You'll have to chat with your neighbor about
But-
why the fence was installed and.
Or how about the city
anything like
that permitted it? I mean, do you allowed him to go in and put, somebody
I-
allowed them?
Honestly, sir, I can't comment. I have no idea as to why it was put there.
This commission doesn't have any oversight or records about why an adjacent property owner may or may not have applied for a building permit. So what we're saying is that the fastest way for you to get that information is going to be first to talk to your neighboring property owner. And if he won't give it to you or that conversation doesn't go anywhere, you could inquire with building, but they may or may not have record of it because we don't know. We have no idea whether or not he obtained a permit for
Yeah,
the fence or
whether
not.
it
Okay.
was permitted.
Okay, so the building department's our next up.
Well, no, your first stop's your neighbor, and if that doesn't go
My
anywhere,
neighbor
you
is not a neighbor,
Okay.
he's not being neighborly, or I should say.
Well,
He's a
then, yeah.
neighbor, but he put that fence up for one reason only, and that was to hamper the business. There was no other purpose for it.
Again, sir, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't comment
Yeah,
any
okay.
further.
I appreciate it. And then we'll look into getting, we have to reapply to do something about getting rid
Sounds
of
like there
dumpsters.
will be as the waste disposal requirement is in the code for the food cart pod and is required. In order to not do that, you will need to file for an exception.
What is the requirement that triggers a dumpster?
Mr. Chair?
Is it based on square footage?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think we probably just need to advise this gentleman to contact the staff at the city to answer these questions. This commission, you know, we really don't have the answers that you are seeking.
Okay.
We don't have the ability to do anything about them unless and until you would file that exception request, in which case this commission would decide whether to allow removal of the dumpster requirement in the code. So we really can't help you today. You need to contact city staff. Planning is a good place to go to talk about these planning rules. As you heard, the building department may be the good place to go with respect to that fence that was built next door.
Well, I appreciate that. We've got a lot of conflicting things from the city. But we will go that route first and maybe be before you again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, sir. And thank you, Commissioner Whitlock. Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to, any members of the public that would like to speak to the item? All right. Ms. Craven, is there anything further you'd like to add as rebuttal to anything you've heard?
No, just I'll ask the city planning department about the application.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, but you can't respond from back there. I'm really sorry. If you have some rebuttal, come to the microphone. If you don't, we'll assume that you are satisfied with the record.
All right. Sounds like we're good. Thank you. With that, I'd like to go ahead and close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
You know, before we do, may I ask some questions of staff, Mr. Chair?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Please do.
I'm just concerned, excuse me, I'm not concerned. I'm curious as to whether staff has thought about an appropriate condition and the language therefore related to the fence. Have you thought about it at all, or?
No, I haven't fashioned
Okay.
any wording.
Very good. It would be another discretionary condition?
So yes. Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely. Commissioner Whitlock?
I
are you
am
gonna do
prepared
the
to make a
honors?
motion, thank you. I would move that the commission adopt the findings as recommended by staff and direct staff to adopt the final order for approval of AC-25-353 per the staff report dated March 13, 2026, including exhibits A through J, including discretionary condition requiring that the operating hours be between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. I hope I got those hours right. And a discretionary condition requiring that the applicant and all vendor tenants not place garbage cans, barrels, propane tanks, chairs, heaters, tables, pallets, trash, or any other personal property items onto any adjacent properties without written permission to do so. And one additional discretionary condition requiring a wooden fence between the parcel and the adjoining apartments to the east.
Second. Perfect. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
I think all of the conditions that we have, kind of compiled with staff's help address most of the concerns. Anytime you have effectively a commercial use next to a residential use, there's the potential for problems. But I think everything that's been proposed will assist in minimizing those conflicts.
Agreed. All right.
We don't need to set a height requirement on that fence, do we?
I don't believe so. I mean,
It would be a standard
intention
8,
would
most
be-
likely, right?
sorry, do we need an amendment to, do you want to add
I'd-
anything as to
I'd
the
hate
height
to
of
see
that
a
fence,
6
Commissioner
foot.
Whitlock?
Well, how about we make it a 6-foot fence, Kelly? Is that the standard size for a side fence, or is that a rear fence, or
Tenant
what
is
is
going
it?
like this.
It could be 6, it can go up to 8 feet is the maximum on a on a
8
side yard.
requires a building permit, though, right? for
Over
that?
8 requires a building permit.
Yeah, 10 foot.
Does staff have a recommendation based upon other potentially conflicting uses that abut?
I think our buffer yard standard calls for, let me look real quick, I think it's 8.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm 6 foot. I'd like a tall fence, but.
The buffer yard standard is 6,
Is 6?
is 6 feet.
That's what I thought. I would propose an amendment to 6 if the second will accept that amendment.
Commissioner Miller,
6-foot fence?
do you accept the amendment?
I accept it, but I think the two property owners should get together on this, right? Like, I don't know what we can impose. It's a discretionary,
Yeah, I mean, that imposition could be part of the discretionary condition. It sounds like 6 foot.
Yeah, they can always, like, the property
It's 6
manager
foot
could go
minimum.
contribute to an
How
extra
about,
foot.
how about 6 foot or as agreed to between the property owners?
that sounds good to me, second.
Okay, that would be my amendment then, a 6-foot high fence or a different height as agreed to by the adjoining property owners.
Okay,
Is that all right, Mr. Camiller?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
great. With that, any further discussion? All right, could we have roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Camiller,
Yes.
Ms. Powell,
Yes.
Mr. Whitlock,
Yes.
and Mr. Bender.
Yes.
We have 4 yeses.
Thank you for your patience, everybody. Moving on with the remainder of our agenda, item number 60 is written communications. We have none. Item number 70 is new business. Again, we have none. Which brings us to item number 80, which is a report from the planning department.
All right, good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Kelly Aiken again with your Planning Department. So a couple bits of information for you. Let's see. There we go. First, I wanted to let you know, City Council 2 meetings ago now appointed a replacement for Commissioner Pierce. So Hal Wise will be joining the commission at your next regular meeting, which is April 17th. We don't have any business for your April 3rd meeting. So we'll meet Mr. Wise on the 17th of April. Let's see, so business upcoming, we don't have any business for April 13. We do for April 17 and also for May 1st. So not the next meeting, but the following 2 we'll have business scheduled for you. Our Human Resources Director will come and chat with us on the 17th for our workplace professionalism, respectful workplace
I'm sorry, what
discussion.
day?
The 17th.
Okay,
April
so we
17th.
will meet after that, an extended length.
It'll be near the end of the meeting, yes.
Okay.
Let's see, up at City Council, Wednesday night, we had an appeal. This is the first time we've had an appeal of a type 2 decision. It was a cottage cluster. And those are appealed up to that particular, only just that application type is appealed up to council. And it was really interesting. They ended up upholding or affirming the planning director's decision, but it was really lengthy. They spent, 2 hours? A little over 2 hours, I think, on that. But we spent a lot of time going through the procedures. They've never had a de novo appeal hearing, so it was all new to them. So I spent quite a bit of time talking about just kind of what the rules were and how the whole process needed to work. But I thought the council did a really good job. There was a bit of testimony, and the neighbors did a great job of making their case. But council did end up upholding, which was, I think, the correct thing to do under the code anyways. Also at City Council, 2 weeks ago now, there was a joint study session between the Planning Commission and the City Council. There's a whole bunch of legislative business that's going to be coming through, that's going to, Planning Commission will be working on. So I think it was useful to kind of talk about the stuff that's coming. A lot of it's around the downtown plan that the council adopted, and so now it's going to be next steps. There's going to be a bunch of code amendments and other things that will be happening downtown. SPAC, this body will hear some of those things. We're going to be working on some design standards, I think, for our commercial and downtown in particular. So those things will work with you. Don't know timing for that, but know that that will be coming to this body and also to our Historic Commission as well. It will affect them as well. Upcoming for their April study session of interest, it seems to everybody, is going to be Main Street restriping. They're going to be talking about that again. So that'll be interesting just to kind of keep an eye and see what they do with that. So for our Historic Commission this week, they had a meeting this week, and they approved some exterior modifications to the Bohemian Club downtown. And there's going to be a new pizza place coming in there, so they needed to do some adjustments. They're doing a new awning and moving some doors around so they have kind of a split. It's like a pickup window and then their seating door. So that's what's up at your Historic Commission. And I think that that's all that I've have for you, unless you have questions for me.
Any questions for Kelly? Commissioner Redwall?
Absolutely, Mr. Chair, if I may.
I
First of all,
could think of nothing else. Sorry.
how do you spell the new member's last name? I had understood it might be something different than what I was hearing.
Oh, it's Wise, W-I-S-E.
Okay, very good.
Is it, I thought it was Hal Wing.
Oh, was it Wing?
It's Wing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Thank you.
He teaches my son economics.
This
currently.
is why I can't read my own handwriting. Thank you.
I heard wheeze and then was.
So it's Wings.
So it's what?
W-I-N-G.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. W will be here.
Like
Yeah,
this?
St.
Yes.
Mary's.
Like this?
He can come here on Friday at noon?
He's retiring.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's an interesting.
Right.
I understand that one of the things he teaches is planning. So it'll be interesting to have him on board here. Yeah. I've not met him yet. We'll meet him in a couple of weeks.
Land use planning or life planning?
Maybe
death
we might
plans
need
even at
both.
St. Mary's, right? I mean,
Yeah, is the class called adulting?
That's
My
right.
daughter has a class called adulting up north. They literally call it adulting.
Balance your
that.
checkbook kind of stuff.
Oh, they
right?
did teach, they teach
I
that.
think that's good.
She's a sophomore. You'd think they teach that long ago.
and then one final question,
Sure.
Mr. Chair. So when will council be considering the code amendment to remove that appeal for clusters to the council?
After 2 hours, I don't know. They didn't seem to fuss about it. And I was up here. I talked for quite a while, and they were all paying attention. So I thought that was great because it would be really easy after hearing me babble on for a while that you just kind of zone out. But they did a really good job. It was. I wondered the same thing, but I haven't heard any rumblings yet that they don't want to do that again. So. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kelly. With that, item number 90, messages and papers from the chair. I don't have anything.
Congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you. Very excited.
Thanks for taking it back. I expected
They
you to do that.
drag you right back in. All right. With that, item number 100, propositions and remarks from the commission. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? All righty. That brings us to 110, and we will be adjourned.